Okay, so we are now going to do combustion reactions, predicting products, and balancing equations. Now, the nice thing about the combustions that we are doing in class, we are not doing all combustion reactions, but I do want to make sure we've covered a couple of them. We've got our hydrocarbon, which is made up of hydrogen and carbon, plus oxygen. What comes out of combustion is always going to be, for us, CO2 plus H2O, or carbon dioxide and water. So here's a hydrocarbon plus oxygen. What's going to come out of that is CO2 plus water. Okay, easy. Combustion is the first thing you should look at and say, well, it's not combustion. What else could it be? All right, we're going to start with this one because this one's going to be a little easier than that one, and I'll explain to you why in a minute. So in a combustion that we're doing, we are limited to only three elements: carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen here. Okay, so when you're balancing these, start with a carbon. Say I have 5 carbons over here, I have 12, and I have 2 oxygens. So 5 carbons, 12 hydrogens, 2 oxygens. Over here I have 1 carbon, 2 hydrogens, and 2 plus 1, 3 oxygens. So I'm going to start with my carbons. I've got 5 over here, 1 over here. I need 5 carbon dioxides to come out. In this case, now I've changed my carbons to 5, my oxygens to 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 more is 11. So I've got 11 of those. Now let's go to the hydrogens, and we say, okay, I've got 12 hydrogens going in and only 2 coming out. If I put a 6 in front of that, I now have 12 hydrogens coming out, and I have 10, 5 times 2, which is 10, plus 6, or 16 oxygens coming out. And since I've got O2 over here, all I have to do is I'm going to put an 8 in front of that, and I've got 8 oxygens going in. Okay? 16, sorry. Okay, so the answer to this one is 1, 8, 5, 6. And all I did was start with the carbons, fix them, go to hydrogens, fix them, and then I finish up with the oxygens. And that is the answer to this one. So what it means is 1 C5H12 plus 8 oxygens yields 5 carbon dioxides and 6 waters. Okay, let's go to one that's maybe a little more difficult at first. So we again already made our products here. So we're going to do our inventory. It's pretty much, in our case, all combustions are going to be CH and O. So it's 4, 10, and 2. And over here we've got CHO. And again, that's just like it was last time. There's 1 carbon because it's carbon dioxide. There's 2 hydrogens from the water, and there's 3 oxygens, 2 from the carbon dioxide and 1 from the water. So that makes that 3. So we're going to start out the same way, where we go, okay, well, I've got 4 carbons over here. Let me put 4 carbons over here. Easy. That one changes that to 4, and I've got 8 plus 1, which is 9 oxygens. And then I'm going to go over here and say, okay, I need 10 hydrogens. Easy. I'll put 5 in front of that. That's going to give me my 10 hydrogens. Simple. But when I go to my oxygens now, this gives me 8. 4 times 2 gives me 8. And 5 times 1 only gives me 1. So currently I only have 13 oxygens. But I can't do that because the 13 is an odd number, and there's no way I can get to 13 with O2. Everything I put in front of that's going to give me an even number. So what I have to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to double this. So just go ahead and put a double in front of that, 2 in front of that one. Just right there. Now I'm going to change this to 8. So I've got 8 carbons. Since there's 2 butanes, I've got 8 carbons, and now I've got 20 hydrogens. Now I've got to fix my carbons again, and instead of 4, I've got 8. So that's going to give me 8, and it's 16 plus 5, which is 21 oxygens. Now I've got 20 hydrogens. I need 20 over here, so I'm going to put a 10 in front of that. and that's going to give me my 20 hydrogens. And I've got 8 times 2, which is now 16 oxygens plus 10 more, gives me 26 oxygens. Now I can do this one. 26 divided by 2, which is over here, is 13, which now gives me 26. So I have everything going in and coming out that I need to. What goes in must come out. So it gives me 2 butanes plus 13 moles of oxygen yield 8 moles of carbon dioxide and 10 moles of water. Okay, and that's what that says. And the answer to this one is 2, 13, 8, and 10. And that is combustion reactions. And I hope that helped.